Hello, grade 12s. This is Mr. Van here, and I'm talking to you today about another scholarship opportunity that some of you may be interested in and want to apply for. This is a school nominated, pretty big scholarship of about $40,000 given to two students in the Vancouver School District. So let's go into it here. The Veazey Award was created after the money of two former VSB teachers passing away was put into a trust to give students every year an opportunity to go to UBC, full ride 4 years. So it's about $10,000 a year, which will cover your tuition and cover some other expenses, books and things as well. Um, yeah, the idea was that they were big fans, supporters of UBC, and that also they were working in inner city schools in Vancouver, and that they were looking to give back fantastic students like some of you opportunities to go to UBC who maybe had the marks, but maybe hadn't felt they were able to, or maybe felt financially it was going to be too much. So they've offered this. So as you can see on the slide here, it's two students per school across all 18 high schools. Now, I've been told that not every high school will put two people forward, so it won't be 36 applicants across the district, but that would be the max. There is, and I won't go into too much of it right now, but there are recognitions, small financial recognitions for the runners up as well. So just getting your name into the pool can make a big difference. The deadline for the Veazey this year is April 14th, and that's why we're doing this one much later than some of the other ones like Loran, BD, TD, and others, is that it runs quite late. You will need to be applying to UBC as well. This doesn't work in any other post-secondary, so you do need to be planning to go to UBC, or if suddenly $40,000 showed up in your pocket, you're going. Um, School deadline for this that we're setting is Friday, February 12th. So I'm making this video in mid-January, but I don't want to release it quite yet because I know that students are focusing on the end of quarter 2. So we've picked Friday, February 12th, so that it still gives 2 good months for the selected students to get their work together, but also is in the quarter 3. So hopefully it'll be a little bit lighter and you won't be finishing out a quarter. You'll be starting a new one. Yeah, and each Vancouver school, as I said, can put forward 2 students. So you're probably wondering, okay, cool. I'd love $40,000 to go to UBC over 4 years. How do I do it? So this is the criteria. We spoke with um, the gentleman named Gary who runs the selection committee of about 8, looks like pretty impressive people. And this is the information that I gleaned out of him. So looking for a grade 11-12 average of at least 90%. He said he's looking for students that are in the top 10% of grades. So I've kind of run a rough idea that would be about 90% to get into the top 10% of student marks in our grade. Ideally higher, but he said it's not the most important thing at all. Um, Big thing he was saying was he wants to make sure that they're picking leaders who are doing really positive things in their local communities and also in the school community. Um, I asked him specifically, he said it is possible to have only worked really well in one of the communities and still win and be nominated and win the whole thing, but ideally both. Um, and then we've also got to note that, of course, you need to be planning to go to UBC as this doesn't work elsewhere. He says, and so I've bolded this, that the essay is the biggest thing that really sets people apart. And so the question they ask, and it's 500 words max, is how will you use your education to give back to others? So I'm just kind of quoting him there. How will you use their education to give back to others? So this was a really important thing for the Veazey, the couple that started this with their trust when they passed away, was the idea that as teachers they really felt they wanted to give back to others, give back to kids, to students. So no matter what you're looking to get into, how will you give back to others after you finish your 4 years at UBC? What would be your plan? And how would you do that? And remember, they're looking for leadership in this. So you want to be telling a story, a narrative that also takes you um, it takes you into what the next, say, 10 years or even more or less after you finish. There will be an interview for all the successful applicants. So once students, two from Van Tech and from other schools as well, potentially two, are nominated and you write your essay, there will be an interview after. They use the essay, they use the interview, they use your marks, your story, and they pick the two people. If you go to Veazey, if you just Google Veazey scholarship, you'll find, and you can see the past winners as well. They're all mentioned on there. And he did mention finally as well, having overcome and shown grit or resilience would be beneficial as well. Obviously, you can't make this up if you haven't, but it could be helpful. So when you're thinking about, am I a good applicant? You know, if you've got a lot of these things, then I think it's going to be good to put your name forward. The requirement that I'm going to ask all of the students who to want to be considered for the nomination is to write exactly this. How will they use their education to give back to others? So if you want to be nominated, you need to, by Friday, February 12th, have submitted that to me by email or in paper. I picked it, we'll just say like 6 p.m. that day. It's a Pro D day as well, so it gives you a bit of extra time as well to do it if you'd like. And two students will be picked. And the selection committee on this one will be Mr. Morrow and myself, which was at the request of Gary from the Veazey group. He says usually the grade counselor and the principal are the ones that select, so we're going to do that. So yeah, please let me know if you have any questions. I'll post this probably in the next couple weeks to give you a little bit of time as well, but I'm mindful that everybody's working on their end of quarter two, and I want you to be able to focus on that. So all the best, and yeah, hope to see your name in there.